I'm a firm believer in the old Ben Graham saying that the market acts like a voting machine in the short term, but a weighing machine in the long term. And this means that most of the time the market is about right, and the process of buying and selling on an international stage with millions of people watching the prices of almost every publicly traded stock every single day, prices are usually kept within a fairly tight range of fair value, most of the time. But of course sometimes the market gets irrational and either rises too high or falls too low, especially in individual stocks. And these events are usually caused by different things, but they almost always result in the same fairly obvious characteristics. Things which those caught up in the bubble may be blinded to, but which are actually quite easy to see for outsiders who aren't caught up in the euphoria. I forget who it was that said that he knew that it was time to get out of the stock market just before the 1929 crash, when the boy who was shining his shoes every morning told him that he was buying stocks. And of course the point is, when it seems that everybody is making easy money off of stocks and people with no financial expertise are getting into the market on a large scale, something is very wrong. And look, I'm all for people getting into investing and building up portfolios of investments, but the difference is most of the people trading in the stock market today who aren't from financial backgrounds aren't investing in terms of putting down money based upon business fundamentals and long-term earnings. They are trading sometimes every day, buying and selling stocks based upon speculative appraisal and not fundamental valuation. In other words, they are gambling on short-term price changes. And if you like what you're hearing so far, do me a favor and subscribe so that our channel can keep growing and I can spend more time researching and producing content like this. So anyway, how many people watching this video have friends or younger relatives who have recently begun trading in the stock market? And I'll bet that the majority of them aren't investing and holding positions for years at a time, but instead they are doing something called day trading, which is a fancy word for gambling. And of these individuals, how many have started in the last year? The answer will give you a good indication of where we are at right now. Whenever we have a large number of new people in stocks, and when they aren't investing but instead speculating, buying and selling based upon whether they think that the price of a particular stock or index is going to go up or down tomorrow, there has always been trouble, because when stocks are no longer viewed by the majority as representative of the underlying businesses, and instead are viewed as vehicles for making easy money, trouble is inevitable. And hey, I don't know when the market will correct itself for sure, as nobody knows, but I think that we are fairly close to a peak in the stock market. Perhaps we've already seen it. But with Tesla having traded at over 1,000 times earnings and GameStop having reached over $450 per share, a company which many, including myself, is in the same boat as Blockbuster, it's quite obvious to anybody who isn't caught up in the bubble that many stocks aren't being treated as businesses but just speculative vehicles, which many people seem to think will keep rising indefinitely regardless of whether the business income changes or not. Imagine if I were to try and buy a restaurant or a dry cleaners or a barber shop or any other type of small business, where I didn't understand the nature of the business or the income or who the competition were and I had no idea about the safety of the earning power. But I decided to buy this small business anyway because I'm taking my chances and hoping that some even greater fool who knows even less will pay me an even higher price. You'd probably call me an idiot, and deservedly so. But when people do the exact same thing in stocks, which are just small parts of bigger businesses, because they are more easily tradable and because it is possible to make money buying and selling stocks, even though upwards of 90% of retail investors lose money doing it, many people think that it's a really smart thing to try and do. And we have a culture right now where people are all trading stocks and very few are paying any attention to the fundamentals. And the thing is, I don't know how things will play out from here. The only thing that I can say for sure is that the stock market is out of control and trouble will likely follow. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below and be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Thanks for watching.